Wednesday in Holy Week. A reading from St. John chapter 13. Before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray him. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered, "You do not know now what I am doing, but later you will understand." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "One who has bathed does not need to wash except for the feet, but is entirely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who was to betray him. For this reason he said, "Not all of you are clean." The landscape around Jerusalem is beautiful but harsh. Rocky outcrops and small shrubs line the track that leads into the city. The track itself is dusty and dirty, with stones that bruise the feet and piles of animal dung to be avoided. At the time of the Passover, it would have been crowded as well, and harder to avoid the heaps of dirt or uneven patches. By the time the disciples reached the room where they were to eat supper, they would have been hot and tired, eager to stretch out and rest a while, keen to wash off the dust and the dirt of the journey. Imagine their surprise when, instead of the traditional servant, their master himself knelt down to wash their feet, calloused and rough from walking so many miles in coarse, ill-fitting sandals, covered in dust and worse from the journey. The usual way of things, as was so often the case with Jesus, was being turned upside down. But how cool that water must have felt on their hot, tired bodies. How gentle the touch of love that carefully wiped away all the stains from the journey. All of Jesus' love and care for his disciples could be felt in the way he cradled their feet in his hands. All the hopes he had for them and their mission to spread the good news of God's love to all people. All the prayers for their future. In that one humble, caring action, Jesus embodied his message of hope and love, communicating more clearly than words with a gesture of servanthood and compassion. Sometimes all it takes for us to communicate our feelings is a gentle touch of kindness. We need not be too proud to serve others, for Jesus first served us in ways greater than we can imagine. We need not be too proud to accept the service of others, for it is through this that we become part of the community of the gospel.